Hey, it's Joshua, room 17 and the last room of the security wing. Every room so far has tried to keep the attacker out. Small keys, many walls, few doors. This room does something different. It assumes the attacker got in anyway and asks a colder question. When they finally hold your data in their hands, can they actually read it?
Assume the thief wins, not if. Assume it. Someday, a disk walks out a back door, or a messenger carrying records between buildings is stopped on the road, and the satchel is opened. Here's the question that decides whether that is a catastrophe or merely a shrug. When they open what they stole, can they read it? Or is it a stack of gibberish, meaningless symbols that say nothing at all, without a key they do not have and cannot get? That single difference, readable or gibberish, is the difference between losing your data and losing a locked box that no one can open. This is the last room of the security wing. Every other room tried to keep the attacker out. This one assumes they are already in and protects the data itself so that getting to it was never the prize. There are two moments a document is vulnerable: when it is sitting still in the archive, where a thief could lift the whole ledger off the shelf, and when it is moving, carried by a courier between branches, exposed on the open road. So you do two things. Every ledger on the shelf is written in a cipher that only the key unlocks, and every document a courier carries is sealed in a strong box for the journey. Steal the shelf or stop the courier. You hold gibberish either way. And now the real problem reveals itself, and it is not the cipher. If every ledger is encrypted, your whole library's safety now rests on one much smaller, much scarier thing: the keys. Lose the key and you cannot read your own records. And let the key sit right next to the locked ledger, and the thief who took one has simply taken both. So encryption does not remove the problem, it concentrates it. From guard all of the data, down to guard the keys, absolutely. So it is two protections and one discipline that holds them up. Encryption at rest. The data sitting on the disk is ciphered, so a stolen drive, or a stolen database, is unreadable. And encryption in transit. The data moving across the wire is sealed, so an intercepted message is just noise. And the discipline that makes both of them real. You keep the keys separate from the data, in a guarded vault of their own, tightly controlled and regularly rotated, never on the same shelf as the thing they unlock. Though sometimes a sealed key does ride along with the box, it is sealed by a master key that never leaves the vault, so the thief holds two locked things instead of one. That is envelope encryption. Because the cipher itself is the easy part, the key management, quietly, is the entire job. Here's the keeper. Assume the channel will be intercepted and the disk will be stolen, so you make the data useless without a key, both at rest and in transit, and then you guard the keys as the real secret. The locked box is worthless to a thief who does not hold the key, as long as you never, ever tape the key to the box. The labels are the stickers: encryption at rest, encryption in transit, and key management. In the cloud, in transit is TLS, Transport Layer Security, everywhere. At rest is encryption on your S3, your EBS, your RDS. The real question is, who holds the key? And the key vault is KMS, controlled and rotated, kept separate from the data they protect. Two failure stories. Plaintext. A single stolen disk, or one sniffed connection, and the attacker holds everything in plain, readable form. The breach simply is the data. Or encrypted, with the keys well guarded. The very same theft now yields only noise. The attacker has the locked box, but not the key, and the key lives somewhere they never reached. The difference between "we lost the data" and "we lost a box of gibberish" is encryption, provided you did not tape the key to the box. So the exam shows the tell. The data must be encrypted at rest. Encryption on the store, your S3, EBS, RDS, keys in KMS. On a database, you choose it at creation. Encrypt the data in transit, TLS, everywhere, end to end. And compliance demands that we control and rotate our own keys. Customer managed keys in KMS. The tell is always simple. At rest means the stored copy. In transit means the moving copy. And control the keys is always pointing straight at key management and the separation of duties.
Your turn. The last one of the wing. I'll wait. A company encrypts its database at rest and feels perfectly secure. But the application connects to that database over an unencrypted connection, and the decryption key is stored on the very same server as the app. Name the two holes they left wide open.
1. No encryption in transit. The data travels the wire in plain text, so anyone who can sniff the connection reads it, no matter how well it was encrypted at rest. 2. The key sits right next to the data on the same server, so one compromised box hands over both the locked box and its key. Fix both. TLS for the connection and the keys in a separate guarded store like KMS. Encrypt at rest and in transit, and never tape the key to the box. And that closes the security wing and gives the whole map its third movement. Look back at what we built. Keys made small, walls made many, doors made few, and now the data itself, unreadable without a key. And notice the single instinct underneath all four, the very same one that closed the resilience wing. Assume it fails. Assume the key leaks, the wall falls, the disk walks out, and make certain that when it does, the damage is small. The next movement turns to the last constraint of all. Not does it work, not does it survive, but what does it cost? One breath to seal it. Assume the disk is stolen and the wire is tapped. Encrypt the data at rest and in transit so a stolen copy is gibberish. And then guard the keys as the real secret, kept separate from the very data they unlock. The cipher is easy. The keys are the whole job. Useless without the key.
That is encryption, and it closes the whole security wing. Assume they get in and make sure the prize is gibberish. 17 rooms down. I'm Joshua. I'll see you in the next one.